YouTube, what's going on? Eli here. I got the homie Powin. Show him the headlamp.
The headlamp? Oh, should I do the
Is it focused on you? Yeah. Let me see the swipe.
Oh, it's on the mode.
Oh,
there we go.
Anyway, today we are making the Allroad not look boring. If you know me, you know that being able to do this or being able to go like this is unacceptable. Luckily, and I came this close to lifting this car and putting some big tires on it, but then I realized I'm gonna save that for a Porsche Cayenne build in the future. Pound's still over here trying.
It's not working. It's weird.
So I hit up the homies at H&R because if you don't know, back when I had a 2013 Audi S4, this is a 2013 A4 Allroad, when I had 2013 S4, I had H&R Coilovers on that from my buddy Izzy, and I love those. So I hit them up, I said, hey, let's work together, let's get this Allroad looking proper and not 9 miles off the ground, and they said, sweet, but they did me one better, because they actually have a specific set of coilovers for this car. If you don't know, S4 coilovers, A4 coilovers will fit this, but the Allroad obviously has a little extra weight out back, which I'm probably gonna ruin that balance later if I 3OT swap this. But for now, the coilovers are set up perfectly for the weight of the Allroad. There won't be any drooping. I'll be able to set the height evenly, and I'm super excited. So let's get that box open. Harrison will be here in a minute. And then we're digging into the Allroad. First mod, it's got 253,000 miles on it, if you didn't know that. So the bolts might be a little rusty. We might be in for a great time. We've come to find that the wheel lugs are very much on there. I can tell you're not big on this whole YouTube unboxing thing here. Is this your first YouTube unboxing?
This is my first.
This is gonna be red, right? Oh, I can mess with silver. Nice. These are for the bottom of the springs. These are the Hinterlaschovenless lung. Oh boy, the German people are not gonna like me. If you wanna know what it is, it's a rear axle height adjustment.
Rear axle height adjustment.
No, I want you to say this. Okay, here we go. Ready? This is how you say it, Harrison.
Hinterlaschovenverstellung.
I don't think that's right.
Hinterlaschovenverstellung.
All right, front springs, rear springs, front struts, and rear struts, and rear axle adjustment pieces. These are coming out much easier than the other side, huh? Watch all the rust that falls off of this car when we do this. That is insane. I wonder if these have ever been changed.
Probably not.
They have 250,000 miles. They have to have been changed once,
yeah.
Right? We have one side together. Everything is installed, and we managed to do it without unbolting this or unbolting the sway bar end link. Maybe not super by the books, but we did it.
I'm gonna take my hand.
Yeah, take your hand out. Good.
I'm hanging on it.
Nice. I'm hanging on it. All right, you want to hold it on? I'll push down. Don't let me hit you in the head with this.
Yep.
Two. You ready?
Yep. Oh yeah.
Heck yeah. All right, big camera died. Here's how we brute force this this thing out. I actually don't remember how we did it, but we did it. So. Two. That worked way better than last time.
Just pull right out.
All right, so situation. The spring is out at the top. Then we threw a spring compressor on it so we get the bottom guy off. You take the bottom stuff out, and then Harrison literally threaded it down and out. But that's a spring out without doing anything. You do need two people. Or if you're really strong, you probably do one person, but we're not really strong. Two people.
How tight should I go?
I don't know. Right there, and then just spins down. Yeah. Look at us, professionals. And And that, YouTube, is how you do a set of rear coilovers without dropping the subframe and without disconnecting anything other than the strut. All right, everything's together. We got the strut connected. Obviously, you have to jack up at the bottom to get the strut in. The spring is together. We're about 7 threads up from the bottom, which I think is about 3/4 down. I have no idea how on its nuts it's gonna be. We're gonna put this wheel on, put it on the ground, and find out. In the back of this car, along with installing the suspension, we have 4 new wheels and tires. So, the homies at Wheel Pros, as you know, we've been working with them for a while. I went back and forth with them. They have a bunch of brands, if you didn't know that. I've been on the hunt for a style of wheels that looks like what my SQ5 had, the like 9-spoke-ish design. And Niche actually has a set. They're called the Essen. And well, they're right there. Here she is. That is the Niche Essen in 20 by 10.5 with a 27 offset, wrapped in a Falken tire, Eurowinter, and a 255/35/20. A little bit aggressive on the stretch. Alex is really mad at me for this stretch, actually. But you had to do what you got to do to get the fitment. Falken's Eurowinter doesn't come in a tire size wider than a 255, so that's what I went with. In the summer, we might step up to a 275/30, which would be wider but less sidewall, so it would still fit. But we'll dial in the fitment with this setup. These are winter tires, if I didn't mention that already, so we're set for the winter on these. And we'll go from there. So I'm excited to see how it looks on the car. I know Harrison's excited to see how it looks on the car. And check out these, check out the meats on here. It's got little bumps on them. I don't know if those wear down or if it's purposely like harder rubber than everything so it sticks out. We'll see over time, but it feels like a winter tire. I also haven't run black wheels since my GTI. When Pow and I plasti-dipped the S4 wheels black.
Oh my god.
Years ago. Then when they were black last year. See this picture? I was gonna do these in Hyper Silver. I think Hyper Silver is a better color, but they only came in black. So we're gonna run black wheels. The problem is they're black, and if you hit any curb and you get down the metal, it's gonna be so obvious.
Yeah.
All right, here we go. That's aggressive. I think it's gonna work though. I think it's gonna camber in when it goes down. All right, are you ready? Sunder all the way down. Bro. Pound. Dude.
That's awesome.
This is sick. That looks sick.
That's awesome. Fitting on point.
Holy cow. Yep. There's 2 control arms. One. The pinch bolt is legendary for being troublesome, so I'm gonna take the extra time to unthread this bolt, which is literally threaded all the way through, instead of dealing with the pinch bolt and having a headache. Okay, nut is off. Now I just gotta thread the bolt out. Going for the bottom one here. I gotta get this wrench on. She is out. Now we're going for this guy, which holds the, like, I don't know, it's like a U-shaped thing on there. Once this is off, you can spread the strut and the strut comes out. So that should be pretty much all we need to do. It's just a question of finagling everything out of the way. Okay, the nut is off. Yeah, it just comes out. Okay, well that was easy. This came out on the other side like this. Oh, sway bar! Duh! Let's go. All right, wheel time. How do you guys feel about black wheels? My personal struggle with them is that they don't photograph very well. And obviously being a YouTuber, or a washed up content creator, whatever you want to call me, photographing things is relatively important. So we have these powder coated silver. Will they clear the RS7 brakes that I'm gonna do? Oops, spoiler alert. Other spoiler alert, they're sitting on the other side of the shop over there. I'm just waiting on rotors. Now you know. All right, coming down. Oh, I might have gone too low. Ah, it's pretty close. I think it's a little bit low. We are likely going to rub. One more key important thing to do. I'm gonna leave the ride height as it is unless it starts rubbing. I need an alignment. The right side is way towed out while the left is straight, so that'll get figured out. Maybe we'll add a little camber in the rear. I don't know. There's something on the Allroad that's really tacky. I'm gonna get a lot of flack for this, but I don't really care. I think they look dumb. I'm getting rid of them. Bye, and see ya. So much better. We did some paint matching, we did all that fun stuff, which makes the car look much better. But a set of wheels and a set of coilovers just completely changes how this car looks. I'm actually proud to be seen driving this car now, whereas before it was a little bit embarrassing. All right, I'm gonna keep this brief because I feel like I always ramble in these sections. There's three main things I wanna hit on. First of all, I am so happy to be back with H&R. These coilovers ride so well. The way these coilovers sit on the highway at 70 miles an hour is, whoever engineered these at H&R needs a massive raise. This is a smooth section of highway, and I mean, like, obviously it's hard to come across on video, but whoever at H&R designed the damping of these specifically for the highway absolutely knocked it out of the park. The car is so comfortable, and you guys see how low it is too, right? Now with a coilover that doesn't have adjustable damping, generally the ride is a little bit softer the lower you go because you have the spring extended a little bit more, and as you go higher it gets a little bit more firm, so that may have something to do with it. But this is a pretty similar height to what I rode around with in my S4, and man, I think that H&R puts together an exceptional package and a combination of handling, you know, these firm up when they need to, but they're also so soft and forgiving on the highway, and maybe that has to do with the spring rates, maybe that has to do with how they're valved from the factory. Again, whoever set these up did a fantastic job, and I would imagine it's a team of engineers, but I could not be happier with how these coilovers handle the bumps and also just cruise on smooth road while still providing, yeah, the stock Allroad is miles off the ground, so not only are we lower, but there's way less play in the suspension itself, which I don't understand how it can be so firm and flat around corners while still being so forgiving over big bumps. That's beyond me, and that's why there's engineers at H&R designing coilovers and not Eli's at H&R designing coilovers. I have to touch on these Falken Eurowinter tires. I am impressed. First of all, very aggressive tread pattern, which usually means noisy. Not noisy at all. Great traction in the limited driving that I've done in snow. I'm looking for a bigger snowstorm in the near future so that we can actually test these out, but man, the traction is fantastic in the limited snow driving that I've done. Finally, wanted to cover the wheels. Niche Essen. These look great. I posted them very briefly on Instagram, and you guys said they look a lot like the BC wheels that I ran on my SQ5. That is intentional, as I mentioned earlier in the video. I really love the style of thin spoke concave wheels, and these just happen to be 20 by 10.5 instead of 21 by 10.5 like I did on the SQ5. I think that's all I got for you guys. These talking portions seem to ramble on, so I'm trying to keep it a little bit more brief. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope you like how the Allroad looks, because I love it. Go out there and spread some positivity. Big shout out to H&R, Niche, and Wheel Pros, of course, and the homies at Falken Tire. And I will catch you guys in the next video.